Hello, my beautiful mystical soul tribe. Welcome back to the channel. Today's reading feels especially powerful because we're working with the She Is Oracle, and I truly believe that if this message found you, your soul and your guides have something important they want you to hear today. Maybe you've been healing from something difficult. Maybe you've been questioning your next step, or perhaps your intuition has been trying to get your attention. But life has been so busy that maybe you've been struggling to hear it clearly. So beautiful souls, if you feel called, just take a deep breath and allow yourself to arrive fully into this moment. And, as we're looking at the cards, don't overthink your choice. Trust the first card that catches your eye, the one that gives you a feeling, a pull, a curiosity, or even a sense of recognition. Group 1, the card says, healing looks like. Group 2, I have the right to want. Group 3, intuition. Your guides may have a message about your healing journey, your desires and your dreams, or wisdom, the wisdom your intuition has been trying to share with you. Remember, you can choose more than one if you're feeling drawn to multiple messages. Trust yourself that you were guided here for a reason today. These messages are timeless. It can represent your past, your current situation, your future. Take a moment, connect with your energy, and choose the card that's calling your name. Beautiful souls, and thank you for liking the video, leaving comments, especially letting me know which group did you choose. And don't forget to leave the blue heart and the wolf emoji in the comments, and I'll check you in your reading. Hey group 1, welcome in beautiful souls. Thank you for those of you that have hit the like button and let me know that you chose a group 1. Healing looks like. I'm still holding inside a card about feelings that haven't yet been lived through, about gently allowing them space. What am I still holding inside? Why am I afraid to let it out? Beautiful souls, group 1. The energy I'm feeling immediately is that you've become incredibly good at carrying things. You've become good at functioning, surviving, pushing forward, showing up, and doing what needs to be done. But healing is asking a different question. Not can you carry it, but why are you still carrying it? The oracle card asks, what am I still holding inside? Well, beautiful souls, we've got the cards out to dive deeper here. We have the 8 of Wands and we have the Emperor. Sagittarius and Aries energy coming through. What you're holding still inside, it feels like a lot of words that never got spoken, emotions that move through quickly through your heart but never found a voice, thoughts you pushed aside because you maybe felt you had to stay strong. For some of you, this is connected to a father figure, authority figure, a boss, an ex-partner, or someone just who always seemed to have the upper hand in a situation. What I'm hearing here is I never got to say what I really felt. I kept the peace. I swallowed my truth. I acted like I was okay. The Emperor energy tells me that many of you also learned earlier that showing emotion wasn't always safe. You may have been the responsible one, the mature one, the strong one, the one everyone depended on. So instead of maybe expressing those feelings, you controlled them. Instead of releasing them, you managed them. Instead of crying, maybe you carried on. And now Spirit is like saying that healing isn't about being stronger than the pain anymore. Healing is allowing yourself to acknowledge it. For some of you, this could involve a relationship, a situation where things ended suddenly, maybe conversations that were left unfinished, or someone moved on before you received closure that you needed. For others, this is connected to family dynamics. Perhaps someone never apologized. Perhaps someone never acknowledged what happened. Perhaps you spent years pretending something didn't hurt as much as it actually did. Yet feelings remain, because the feelings, they don't disappear when they're ignored, right? They just simply wait. So why are you afraid to let it out? Here we have the Lovers and the Three of Wands. This is quite interesting with the Gemini energy and the Aries energy coming out here, is that what's actually interesting here is that your fear isn't actually the emotion itself. Your fear is what happens after the emotion is expressed. For some of you, you fear rejection. Some of you fear abandonment. Some fear maybe discovering that what you wanted is no longer available. Some of you fear that if you finally admit what you truly feel, you'll have to make a different decision, or a difficult decision afterwards. Because the Lovers is the energy of choices. The Three of Wands speaks about moving towards new horizons. So perhaps many of you, there's something that you've been emotionally avoiding because you know that once you acknowledge the truth, your life cannot stay the same. Like example, maybe you've outgrown a relationship. Maybe some of you have forgiven someone but haven't fully admitted how deeply they hurt you. Maybe some of you carrying feelings for someone and you're afraid of being actually vulnerable. Maybe some of you been pretending you're happy where you are, while actually maybe secretly dreaming of something more. The fear isn't the feeling. The fear is the change that follows the feeling, right? Because once the truth is spoken, it becomes difficult to ignore. Diving deeper here, we have the Page of Cups, Nine of Swords, and we have the Three of Swords. It's quite an emotional combination happening here. Page of Cups tells me there's a tender part of you that is still waiting to be heard. A part that hoped, a part that loved, a part that believed, a part that got hurt. The Nine of Swords shows how much of this is actually been replaying in your mind. Some of you have spent nights overthinking, replaying conversations, wondering what you could have done differently, wondering why something happened, wondering if things could have been saved. But like here with the Three of Swords, I feel like the heartbreak doesn't have to be connected to romance. This could be something about grief regarding a friendship, a family wound, a betrayal, a missed opportunity, a dream that didn't unfold the way you maybe expected. What Spirit is showing me here, that the wound is still asking for acknowledgement, not because you're meant to stay there, but because you're finally ready to move through it. Like healing looks like feeling what you've been trying not to feel. Healing looks like making space for your own heart. Healing looks like no longer rushing yourself through the pain. Let's dive in and get advice out, you beautiful souls. Let me know in the comments how this resonated, brought you any sort of clarity or helped you in any sort of way, or, you know. So let's get final advice out here. Nine of Cups, which is good. Wish fulfillment, happiness. All right. Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords. Double eights could be significant. Death. Let's get one more here. The Tower. This is quite powerful, group 1, because Spirit is showing me that what is actually on the other side of what you're avoiding is the emotional fulfillment with the Nine of Cups. The life that you desire, the peace that you seek, the happiness that you've been manifesting. But here's the Eight of Swords here, a belief that you're trapped. A belief that you cannot move forward, a belief that things must remain as they are. This is an illusion, Spirit is saying, because here's death. Transformation, release, endings making way for beginnings. And here's the Tower. A breakthrough, a truth, a liberation, a structure that can no longer hold what is false. For some of you, healing may arrive through unexpected conversations or an unexpected conversation. For others, it might be through tears that you've been holding back. For others of you, this may be through finally admitting something to yourself. But whatever falls apart here is actually creating room for something more authentic. So the message I'm getting is quite clear, my beautiful souls, is that stop carrying what was never yours to carry forever. Your heart deserves room to breathe. And healing does not happen when you become stronger than your feelings. All right? Healing happens when you become willing to feel them, acknowledge them. Beautiful souls, let me know in the comments how this message helped you on your journey. Perhaps you can drop the blue heart or wolf emoji. Your story may just be exactly what another wolf soul may need to hear. And let us know that you chose group 1. Thank you for liking the video, being subscribers, leaving comments. And remember, beautiful souls, healing isn't a race. Be gentle with yourself. Until next time, take care of your beautiful soul. And I'll check you around in the next one. Love and light. Hey, group 2, welcome in, beautiful souls. Those of you that picked this card, I have the right to want. And this is actually quite a powerful message because Spirit is bringing attention to something many people don't realize they're doing. You're not denying your desires completely. You're negotiating with them, you're editing them, you're making them smaller, you're telling yourself, maybe I should be grateful for what I already have. Maybe you feel like you're asking for too much. Maybe you're saying like, now just isn't the right time. And little by little, the dream gets quieter. The desire gets pushed further into the background. And this oracle card is arriving to remind you that your desires are not accidents. Some of the things that you want were some of the things that you actually want were placed in your heart for a reason. So let's have a look here at this card, all right? So it says here, this card is about permission to want not just material or bodily things. This card is not about permission to want, not just material or bodily things, but emotional, soulful, real. It touches the moments when I quietly say to myself, I don't deserve this, and about reclaiming the right to dream. So there's 3 questions here. What desire do I dim down and why? Why do I allow myself to want without justifying it? Am I over-controlling with my desires? So beautiful souls, if group 2, you picked this card, this message is for you. Let's dive in. What desires do you dim down and why? So the cards that came out is the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles. Double eights could be a significant number for you guys. Maybe it's a synchronicity. Immediately what I'm hearing here it's like the energy I'm hearing in my mind's eye. I've settled into what works, even though it doesn't fully satisfy me. Okay, so the Eight of Cups is the energy of walking away from emotional dissatisfaction, where the Eight of Pentacles is the energy of commitment, work, routine, mastery, responsibility. Group 2, those of you that's resonating with this and this message found you now at the right time, whenever this found you, many of you have been incredibly so focused on becoming productive, responsible, practical, and dependable. You know how to survive, you know how to work, and you know how to keep moving. But Spirit is saying here, what about your heart? Because you dumbing down, what you dumbing down isn't a small desire. It's actually something that would require to leave behind what feels safe. For some of you, this is a career dream. You stay in a job because it pays the bills. You stay because it's predictable. You stay because everyone expects you to. But deep down, inside, there's a part of you wondering, what if there's more? For others, maybe this is a relationship situation. You may have accepted emotional crumbs because it felt safer than risking disappointment. Yeah, you accepted emotional crumbs because it felt safer than risking emotional disappointment or risking some sort of disappointment. Some of you have maybe convinced yourself that wanting deeper love is unrealistic. And now others of you may be convincing yourselves that wanting freedom, travel, creativity, or a different life path is selfish. And Spirit's saying that's not true. You've simply just become very good at prioritizing obligations over desires. The reason you dim your desire is because that would require change. Because it would require change. That's why you dim it. And change asks for courage, right? So let's dive deeper here into the second question. What do you allow yourself to want without justifying it? The Ace of Wands and the Moon. Now, this is quite beautiful, right? Because this is a dream living inside you that doesn't need anyone's approval. The Ace of Wands is the energy of new beginnings. It's passionate, it's excitement, it's creative fire. And the Moon card is the energy that tells me that desire is deeply connected to your soul. Many of you don't fully understand it yet. You just feel it. It's that thing that lights you up when nobody's watching, that vision that appears when your mind gets quiet. The path that feels exciting and terrifying at the same time. For some of you, this could be about maybe starting a business, writing a book, creating content, maybe moving somewhere new, returning to school, beginning a spiritual journey. Maybe some of you, it's about opening your heart to love again. Or maybe some of you, it's about finally becoming a version of yourself you've secretly imagined. The Moon tells me this isn't something logically that can completely be explained, right? It's just that your soul recognizes it before your mind does. So what I'm hearing here is that Spirit is saying you don't need 100 reasons to want it. You're just allowed to want it because you want it. That alone is enough. Let's dive in that last question here. Am I over controlling my desires? So are you over controlling your desires? Well, we have the King of Wands and we have the Queen of Cups. Yes, but not in the way you think. I'm hearing here with these two cards. You're controlling your desires. You aren't controlling your desires because they're unhealthy. You're not controlling them because they're unhealthy. Whoa, excuse me. Throat chakra. Wow. You're controlling them because you're trying to protect yourself. So the King of Wands is the energy you want to move, take action, go after a vision. The Queen of Cups feels everything. She understands the emotional risk, the emotional consequences, the possibility of heartbreak. So what I'm seeing here is the internal tug of war. One side of you says, go for it. The other side of you feels like, but what if it doesn't work? The other side says, take that chance. The other side says, but what if I get hurt again? So this group has likely experienced disappointment before. promises that didn't happen, plans that fell apart, people who let you down. So now you try and manage your expectations. You try not to get too excited. You try not to hope too much. And what Spirit is saying here, there's actually a difference between vision and fear, wisdom and fear. Something about your vision. Some of you have been calling fear being realistic. I'm hearing Spirit saying here, with these cards here, we have the Page of Wands, Two of Pentacles, we have the Emperor, Fire and Earth, and Water. Aries, Capricorn, Pisces. Energy could be significant. Jupiter energy, Saturn energy. Alright, what I'm hearing here from your Spirit team is a future of possibility here. There's a path, a new path that is calling you. It could be an invitation. It could be a message, a fresh beginning, an idea, something that reignites your enthusiasm, all right? Now, the Two of Pentacles is here. What I'm hearing is you've been juggling, trying to balance responsibilities with dreams, trying to keep everyone happy while trying to figure out what you want, trying to make those practical decisions while your soul is craving something more. Now, the Emperor here in Aries energy coming through saying it's time to stop waiting for that permission. It's time to become authentically the authority in your own life, not your families, not society, not the fears, but you. Because the outcome here is the Ten of Cups. The emotional fulfillment, the joy, the allurement, the happiness, the life that actually feels like yours, the life where your outer reality begins matching your inner truth. For some of you, this is absolutely connected to relationships, to other people, family. For others, maybe it's a purpose or a calling. But the message here is the same. Whatever this is for you is that you actually deserve the life that nourishes your soul, not just the responsibilities. All right, let's get a few more cards out and check out what is the advice. Thank you for hitting that like button, beautiful souls. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. Advice. So we have Gemini energy coming through, the lovers. Okay, so here we do have Pisces, Virgo energy, fire energy coming through here, water, full water energy coming through. And I did mention Capricorn, earth, water, fire, okay, and air, Gemini, more Pisces energy coming through. You could have strong placements somewhere in your chart of Pisces. It doesn't have to be all water placements. And here's Libra, air. Okay, Spirit is saying here, your advice here is, this is a season of choosing yourself. The Lovers is the card that is coming through to remind you that every desire contains a choice. Will you choose fear or will you choose what your heart already knows? The Nine of Cups is what your heart already knows. Your wishes matter, your dreams matter, your happiness matters. I'm hearing to actually stop treating your deepest desires like the inconveniences. They are the clues and they are the guidances. They are the they are the signposts that are leading you towards your next chapter. Here with the King of Cups, I feel like the emotional maturity, okay, so what Spirit is saying here is asking you to, Spirit is not asking you to chase every impulse, all right? They're just saying here to trust what your heart already, trust your heart without abandoning your wisdom. You don't have to choose between being practical and being happy. You don't have to choose between responsibility and fulfillment. You can honor both. There's a choice with the Two of Swords. And your intuition knows, your heart knows. The message I'm hearing very strongly is you're allowed to want more love, more joy, more freedom, more purpose, more abundance, more fulfillment. And you don't need to defend this to anybody else. This desire to anyone. You don't need to defend this desire to anyone else. You can affirm, I have the right to want. Affirm in the comments, I have the right to want. Beautiful souls, if this message helped you in any sort of way, resonated, brought you any sort of clarity, thank you for hitting that like button, leaving comments, being subscribers. And remember, beautiful soul, your desires are not something to be ashamed of. Sometimes they're the very map your spirit is using to guide you towards your next chapter. Until next time, take care of yourself. Keep listening to your heart. Let me know in the comments that you choose a group 1 and how it resonated. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll check you around. Hey, group 3. Welcome, beautiful souls. If you chose the intuition card, you know what? I smile because when Spirit says, that you already know. You already know. This isn't a reading about learning something new. This is actually a reading about trusting what you've been sensing all along. All right. I'm getting this is just like a clarity message for you. Definitely just a double clarity for you. So this card says here, intuition is not logic or proof. It's a whisper within, leading to truth, even when unheard, and knowing that already lives inside me. All right. So 2 questions here. Do I trust my subconscious? So do you trust your subconscious? And what intuitive knowing do I feel even if I can't explain it? What intuitive knowing do you feel even if you can't explain it? So let's dive deep, beautiful souls. This is definitely not about learning something new for you. This reading is about finally trusting what you've been sensing all along. All right. Again, like the card said here, intuition is not logic or proof. It's a whisper within, leading to truth, and knowing that already lives inside me. That's exactly the energy that some of you have been asking the universe for: another sign, another confirmation, another tarot reading, another conversation, another dream. And what Spirit is coming through here is, how many confirmations do you need before you trust yourself? Do you trust your subconscious? Well, the first card that came out was the Sun. Yes, you do. This is the clearest yeses I've seen. Deep down, yes. Your soul trusts your intuition, but the challenge isn't your subconscious. I'm hearing here that your challenge is your conscious mind. Your mind is what wants proof. Your intuition simply knows. I actually feel like many of you have experienced this before. Like you've had moments where you thought, I knew this was going to happen. I had a strange feeling about this person. I almost took another route. I kept hearing that song. I couldn't stop thinking about someone, and then they call. You receive intuitive nudges more often than you actually realize. The Sun tells me your intuition isn't hidden. It's actually very bright, very clear, very childlike. It comes through joy, through the sudden knowing, through little moments where something simply clicks. But then your logic mind steps in. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe I'm overthinking it. And Spirit's like, no. You're often over-questioning, not overthinking. So that second question, like, what intuitive knowing do you feel, even if you can't explain it? So here we have the 7 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and 6 of Pentacles. Here we've got Leo, Cancer, and Taurus energy coming through. This is also a card of Leo. Okay, what I'm feeling here is that many of you are sensing that your circle is changing. Some friendships may naturally drift apart. Others will become stronger. You may already feel yourself protecting your energy more than you used to. You know, the Seven of Wands tells me you've been creating stronger boundaries, maybe even without realizing it. You definitely are becoming much more selective. You've been becoming much more selective about who has access to your energy. Some of you have been feeling called to say no more often. Stop people pleasing. Stop explaining yourself. To stop carrying everyone else's emotional baggage. You know, I did have to pause the video just for a second because the Aries Taurus cusp video started playing in CapCut has finished finally uploading. So an Aries Taurus could really be significant here. It doesn't have to be. It's just interesting that the video, normally I put the volume down on the PC, in case it starts uploading, or it's uploaded and it starts playing in the background. All right. I'm hearing also that some of you to stop explaining yourself, all right, and then to stop carrying everyone else's baggage, and also your intuition keeps whispering that not everyone deserves your energy. So the Three of Cups also, I'm getting the energy. It tells me this isn't about isolation. It's actually about alignment that's happening, that you're making space for soul connections, people who do celebrate you, people who has that equal energy of kindness, people who leave you feeling lighter instead of emotionally drained. Yeah, because the Six of Pentacles is about balance, right? That your intuition already knows where energy has become one-sided, whether this is work, family, friendships, romantic relationships, or even maybe it could even be your own habits. Like, you've been also sensing where you giving far more than you've been receiving. Some of you, I'm hearing saying, I'm actually tired. But what are you actually tired of? Is carrying that relationships that only work because you keep carrying them. Like what Spirit is saying here is your intuition has already shown you where balance is missing. You've just been hoping things would naturally change. Yeah, I mean, look here, we have that Nine of Wands here, Sag energy coming through here. Again, Six of Wands with Leo energy. And then we have all the fire signs coming out here. Aries, Leo, Sag, strong fire energy coming through here. Some of you got strong fire placements in your chart. And this is actually incredibly encouraging. The Nine of Wands tells me that you've been through enough to make anyone cautious. Yeah, Nine of Wands tells me you've been through enough to make anyone cautious. You have been disappointed. You've been tested. You've rebuilt yourself more than once, I'm hearing, for some of you. And so, of course, your intuition has become stronger. Pain often sharpens your discernment. But Spirit doesn't want you to keep staying in that survival mode forever, all right? Because here's that Six of Wands here, all right? Which is recognition, it's victory, it's confidence, right? So this feels like finally where you're learning to trust yourself enough to actually move forward, all right? The opposite direction. So instead, where this one here, he's tired, he's looking back. She here on the horse is looking forward to the new beginnings, to the Ace of Wands. We are in the fire horse here, and I mean this is also associated with Leo and Jupiter, which just happened. Some of you are going to receive recognition at work. Others may finally launch something that you've been sitting on. Some of you may begin a new relationship after healing the last one. Or maybe you and your person will be healing, or somebody will be healing, reconciling. Maybe some of you, doesn't have to be. Others are simply waking up one morning and realizing you don't need everyone to understand your path anymore. That's victory as well. there is definitely fresh beginnings, a fresh spark, a passionate new beginning. Some of you, this could be a creative project, starting a spiritual business. Maybe some of you will be moving. Maybe some of you will be accepting new opportunities, beginning healthier relationships, whether it's platonic or professional or romantic. Some of you are just finally saying yes to something you've secretly been wanting a long time. What is really beautiful is I'm hearing that your intuition already knows which beginning this is. Even if your mind hasn't caught up yet, perhaps you can share that with us in the comments. Let's get that final advice out, beautiful souls. Thank you again for hitting the like button. Let's dive in that advice. The Knight of Cups, water energy, Seven of Pentacles, Taurus, Death, Scorpio, Knight, King of Swords. Let's get one more out. And the Lovers. So air energy coming out strong here, Gemini. This feels like Spirit is laying out a roadmap. Like, I'm getting from the Knight of Cups, follow what generally moves your heart, not what impresses everyone else, not what looks successful on paper, but what actually feels meaningful. Like, also the Seven of Pentacles reminds you that not everything blooms overnight. Some of you have becoming impatient with something, wondering if you're on the right path, but Spirit says just keep nurturing what matters. The roots, they're growing long. They've been growing long before they grow long before the flowers, right? And death is that transformation energy, right? There's some sort of chapter that's ending, not because you failed, but because there's something that you've outgrown. Whether this is an old belief, a relationship, a career, people, or simply maybe it's just a version of yourself that constantly doubted maybe their inner voice. Okay, so what Spirit's saying here with this King of Swords here, which is quite beautiful, is after some sort of emotional transformation comes clarity, where you're no more second guessing, no more confusion that is happening, no more asking 10 different people what you should do. You simply just know. Your intuition and your mind finally begins working together instead of against one another. The Lovers is actually quite a beautiful card coming out because, okay, so what I'm getting, it's not just about romance, right? This is about alignment. Something about your alignment, choosing the love that matches your soul, choosing authenticity over comfort, choosing yourself. Yeah, Spirit is like really repeating here something over my mind here, that your intuition has never been trying to control your life. It's actually been trying to lead you home. Beautiful souls, I'm hearing here, stop waiting until everything makes logic sense. Sometimes your soul recognizes the destination before your mind can see the map. I'm hearing trust those quiet nudges. Trust the feeling that you can't explain. Trust the peace that arrives when something is truly meant for you, because your intuition is speaking louder, I'm hearing these days. You finally becoming quiet enough to hear it. Affirm that in the comments. I trust my intuition. Beautiful souls, if you enjoyed today's pick a card and letting me know in the comments as well that you picked group 3, you trust your intuition. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing this pick a card for somebody else that might just need one of these messages today. If you pick more than one, let me know in the comments. And remember, beautiful soul, you know, your intuition isn't outside of you. It's the voice that is a part of you that has always known the way. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself and keep following those whispers. They may just lead you somewhere more beautiful than you've actually even imagined. I'm sending you love and light, and I'll check you around.